Minnesota Twins. It's the Orioles on Bassett, and a quick homestand is going to be completed on an Easter Sunday. Come appropriately attired, please. Opening week is presented by Humana, and you see the Twins of the Orioles ready to wrap it up. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne. Welcome. Great to have you with us, and a very happy Easter to you. And for the Orioles, they hope they'll celebrate after this one with not the goose eggs that were put up for so long yesterday by the pitchers of the Minnesota Twins. The Orioles have split the first two. Here's what it looked like. The Orioles came away with a victory in Game 1 behind Dylan Bundy. A couple of strikeouts here, 2 of the 7 that he picked up in the game. Got great defensive help early. Rosario looked like he had a homer. Gentry went up, pulled it back. Twins would have had a lead there. That developed into the extra inning ball game. For Adam Jones, that's all he needed. The walk-off home run, 11 innings. The Orioles won it by a score 3-2. Game 2, it was Kyle Gibson on the mound. No runs, no hits, 6 innings. Masterful performance. Rosario kept the no-hitter alive at the time with this great catch in the outfield, and the Twins used the home runs to get the lead on the board. SANO, he would pick one up in the first inning, followed by Castro in the third, their catcher. And Kepler, who's having a red-hot start, delivered another dinger. Twins get the win. Jim Palmer, we come in for the rubber match of this set.
Yeah, and then it comes down. I mean, the Orioles obviously would like to do a better job of hitting. Of course, they like what happened opening day because they didn't get a whole lot of hits, but when they got them, they counted. The triple by Caleb Joseph, then the walk-off by Adam Jones. Gibson was really good. And Castro's not going to catch this game for the Twins. And what he's done as a veteran catcher, every time you're looking fastball, you've seen a changeup or a curveball. Now, Barrios, he has a very good curveball, still throws 93 to 96. But I think really for the Orioles to compete this year, they're going to have a guy step up like Bundy did opening day. That needs to be Kevin Gausman. So he's never beaten the Twins. He's pitched well on occasion, as Bundy did. Bundy, pitched well enough to win, but they didn't score any runs for him. Pitched well today. They're a very good ball club when we talk about the Twins. You want to win 2 out of 3. I know it's early in the year. You're going on the road. You only won 29 games last year. You're going to see the world champs. Win this one, take your chances down in Houston, because you never know what's going to happen once that happens, but you got to get a good pitching performance, and that'll be a big part of today's win.
The Orioles relying on the home field advantage last year for the W's they picked up. As Jim said, they had the largest differential in win percentage, home and road, while on the other side, the Minnesota Twins were one of the 4 best teams on the road, where they were able to pick up a better win percentage. So defeating them, as Jim Palmer said, as Buck said, rather, is very tough. This is a very tough Twins lineup. Orioles take the field. We will be back with the opening pitch as the Oriole fans continue to file in on this Sunday. We'll take a look at all the kids who are going to be on the field. ocean.com. Overcast skies, no precipitation so far. Game time temperature brought to you by BGE Home. We know more, we do more. It is 62 degrees. Little gentle breeze blowing out towards left to start the ball game. For the Minnesota Twins and the Orioles, here's the matchup today for the Twins side of it. You've got Dozier, Mauer, and SANO, Rosario, Morris, and Escobar. Buxton, Kepler, and Garver will get a start in this game behind the plate. Kepler, 9 career games against the Orioles, and look at those numbers.
And Kevin Gausman, 11 games in the win column last year. He's got all the pitches. 4-seam fastball. I mean, he'll throw some 2-seamers, slider. That's the pitch that maybe gives him trouble, especially against right-handers, but also could be very effective. Splitter, second best pitch. So again, a power guy that can strike a lot of people out. And, but again, it's just he's looking for consistency. And last year it just started out really slowly. I think 1-6 at one point. A couple of years ago, trouble. Even though he would pitch well, winning on the road, he's taken care of that. So you can see the home runs. And what did the Twins do? They hit 3 of them last night. 206 on last season. 4th best offensive team. They match up pretty well. But the one thing, Gary, Buck Showalter has always talked about how they're really tough against right-handed pitching because they have all the left-handers. The one thing, Kevin, much better against left-handed batters than right-handers.
And they actually have fewer left-handers in the Twins lineup today than they've had for the first 2 games, which may be Paul Molitor responding to what Buck was talking about. Gausman's 6th career start against the Twins. He is 0-2, 6.75 ERA against them. Last year had a start, no decision, 5 runs, 6 hits in 4 innings, or 9 hits rather, in that ball game in only 4 innings. So the Twins hit him hard last season, and that ERA in his start 6.75 against Minnesota. So Kevin gets the opportunity. Hard to believe he's 27 years old already. I mean, it seems like he just arrived yesterday to the Orioles, and now it's at a point where for pitchers you're really trying to gear it up to have the years of your life. Yeah, and he's certainly capable of doing that. 2 years ago, some shoulder problems, so he took it a little bit slower last year. This year, he said maybe started a little bit earlier in his conditioning, so he feels good. The numbers are, I mean, not a glowing spring, but he's very comfortable that he did everything he needed to do to be successful when the season starts, and we will shortly see. Orioles put the shift on. Here is Dozier. Big leadoff home run hitter, goes up in the air to left field, got pretty good wood, back at the wall, and goodbye home run. The very first pitch of the ball game, and Dozier does what he has done for his career, and that's deliver leadoff homers and a 1-0 lead. Boy, he's made a living off that. 28 career leadoff home runs. He had 8 last year, and now he's got 1 here.
Well, you can see the 4-seam fastball, and he's a fastball hitter. He's a high ball hitter. He's a middle of the plate hitter. And he gets exactly that. I mean, it's part of the recipe right here. 34 home runs. Year before last, 42. Pull hitter in this ballpark that puts the ball in the air. Going to have a lot of success.
So, as they did yesterday, the Twins jump out using the long ball. Yesterday's ball game, it came with 2 down in the first inning when SANO got 1. So Gausman touched up by Dozier. First home run Dozier's had off Gausman. Here's Mauer. So Mauer's had a good series against the Orioles, as he generally does. You see on the year 3 for 9, and has picked up the RBI and an extra base hit. So Dozier, that's a real jump start here in the first inning. Kevin Gausman, see your very first pitch leave the ballpark, and a strike taken on the outside corner. 2-1 to Mauer.
And he turns around and says to Marty Foster, "You're sure about that?" That ball was about a couple inches outside. Chris Mauer, I think he actually, I mean, he knows the strike zone about as well as anybody, maybe even better than some of the umpires. But the only one, of course, that counts is their opinion.
Pitch is taken inside. Joe's DHing today. Mauer had been playing at first base in the first 2 ball games, and he'll get to DH. That'll happen a lot in the course of the season, where he'll go back and forth. Orioles defense, outfield shades to left on him, where he goes so often, and an inauspicious start, a home run and a walk.
Well, take a look at the defense. Mancini, Jones, and Colby Rasmus. newly acquired right fielder Beckham, Machado, Scope, and Davis, and then Chance Cisco for start of this season. A couple of pinch hits appearances.
Here's SANO, the ever dangerous, in the number 3 spot. A couple of RBIs. He has picked up in this series, delivering a home run. He's 3 for 11 with 2 home runs off Kevin Gausman. And the pitch is taken inside for a ball. So Kevin, after the home run, working around the strike zone and right now not getting the corners on it, falls behind on SANO 1-0.
Well, he's a fastball hitter, and that's what he hit off of Andrew Kashner. Didn't get it in. Bundy made him look bad because he could get his slider over. I mean, again, you go back and look at the opening day in Baltimore. Dylan Bundy shut him out for 7 innings because he had about as good a breaking ball as he had at many times last year.
SANO got off to a good start last year. It's 7 home runs in the month of April for the Twins batter. 1-1 delivery on the way. Breaking ball, strike called. He didn't like that one. That'll catch the outside corner, says Marty Foster.
Well, there was a huge strike zone last night, and that's just the way. And you pointed it out early, Doug Eddings. He's known to have a notorious pitcher-oriented strike zone. So he was consistent all night long. Looks like Marty Foster maybe is going to favor the pitchers.
1 ball, 2 strike delivery on the way. That'll be down low. Historically, Foster's been pretty straight up compared with other umpires. Pretty strike zone that's by the book. We'll see whether or not that holds true here this afternoon. And again, it's on the close calls. That's what we're talking about when we talk about the umpires' proclivities on balls and strikes. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Runner on at first base, Mauer. Pitch count already climbing early here before Gausman gets an out. Swing and a miss on a good one that he kept down low.
Well, that's what Bundy did. And again, you know, SANO can hit the heater. Can you throw a slider? And here's one, strike to ball. Goes straight down. So he stays on top of it. You think you're going to be able to hit it. You could see the slight hesitation because he got fooled.
Kevin last year at 179 strikeouts in 186 innings. Oh, pretty much 1-to-1 in that department. Now the shift put on in the infield. Rosario's has got good speed. Manny Machado on the left will stay there and will play in. See how close he moves into the grass here to take the bunt away. Rosario not bunting on that one on the swing and a miss. 1 for 8. He's picked up a stolen base in the series. Also, he has drawn a walk, robbed of the home run, of course, by Gentry. What was a very big play in that ball game, game number 1. Prevented the Twins from jumping out to an early lead in the game. Rosario, the does bunt. He's got a base hit. Hey, if they give it to you, that's what we've talked about. Take it. It was there for him. If he gets the ball down, there's no way you're going to throw him out.
Yeah, the whole premise, and we talked about it last night, is okay, we don't want you to do this, but we don't think you can. Well, he just proved Buck Showalter wrong. And again, you know, this is a guy, and we start talking about a team that went from 59 to 85 wins that hit 27 home runs, and he just did what you're supposed to do.
Yep.
Give you a base hit, you take it. You get Morrison to the plate.
So now runners on at first and second, 1 away. Morrison, also power hitter. He's trying to get himself off the snide here in the opening series. He has gone 0 for 6. He's had a couple of walks, 3 strikeouts. Runners at first and second base, and the pitch will be on the inside corner for a strike. Kevin's really having to work here in this first inning. The Twins have gone 2 for 17 with runners in scoring position so far in the first 2 games. They've had a good number of opportunities. Orioles have had 11. 0-1 delivery on the way to him. That'll be fouled straight back. Again, that big cut, arms extended, which he always tries to do. And the count goes to 0-2 on Morrison. Morrison is a 3 for 14 lifetime off the Orioles' Kevin Gausman. So your base runners, Mauer, not speedy at second base. Rosario with outstanding speed on at first. 0-2 count. And the pitch will be a fastball up high at 92.
And we're not seeing the typical velocity that Kevin Gausman is able to exhibit. I mean, 92 is the average major league fastball, and he's usually, well, at least he can get it up to there, and you would think that he might consider that I'm maybe in a little bit of a jam here. So 92 is not his norm by any means.
1-2 pitch on the way. That ball's going to get down the line. Will it stay fair? No. He had to reach on it and had a one-hand finish and just foul.
Yeah, trying to strike him out with a split-fingered fastball, and you could see him. It just stays up enough where it gets something on it, and then you're hoping if you're Morrison it stays fair, and if you're Kevin Gausman you're going please hook foul, and it did.
That would have been a couple of runs had it stayed in. For Morrison last season with runners in scoring position, we mentioned it yesterday, only a 168 average. Just completely inexplicable for a guy who does make contact and hits in spots where you get opportunities.
Yeah, and and he's got a good eye. I mean, he walks a lot, on base percentage at almost 360. So yeah, he strikes out a lot, 148 times. But
1-2 delivery, and he'll do it again here. He went away.
Yeah, there's a good fastball, and again the velocity is only 92, but it had good life, good location. Look where Cisco's sitting. Ball runs right to the outside corner. So slow that he hooked it foul, and then two-seamer with good movement, late life, gets another strikeout.
So Escobar back in the lineup. He started game number 1. Escobar had a 1 for 5. He's back in at the shortstop position. Still runners at first and second base with a run in on the homer by Dozier. 2 down. And the pitch will move inside for a ball. Up to 22 pitches thrown. Trying to stay at that 15-16 pitch count per inning. If you can get below that, then you're in pretty good shape. Escobar, good season last year in these situations, as he hit 304 when he had a chance to pick up an RBI. 1-0 delivery to him, up in the air to left field, over near the line. Long run. TREY Mancini not going to get there, and the runners are going. That one does fall in, and it'll end up being a double for Escobar, who puts it the other way down the line, and no chance for anybody to get to it. Mauer crosses, and a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, I mean, the minute's in the air. If you're Kevin Gausman, you know nobody's going to be there. So again, not a bad pitch, but certainly a bad result. Escobar just dumps it down the line, and then there's no cutoff man, because Machado at shortstop went all the way out there because he thought he might have a chance to catch it. And Escobar came around first, actually was going to stop, but then Mancini throws it into third base, and you get a chance to maybe have a 4-run inning with a base hit.
Yeah, this here's your early big at bat in this ball game, and it's Buxton who'll stand in. Runners at second and third with 2 down, 2 runs in. First RBI of the year for Escobar, and this is enormous at bat in the first inning. Breaking ball is going to be outside.
See, and the book is on Byron Buxton. You got to get him out with breaking balls, and that's what the Orioles have done over this series. But Kevin Gausman, righties hit him a lot harder than lefties at 288 with 17 of the 28 home runs, because he knows how to get him out, but can you get the slider?
That one's going to get away. Runner's going to come and will score easily.
And you can see the approach there. He knows what the pitch is. Doesn't want to throw him a fastball. Pulls the slider in the dirt. And Cisco really not much chance at all to block this ball. 3 runs.
Wild pitch delivered. Almost able to turn it, but it went right between the pad and the elbow.
Yeah, that's about 58 feet right here. I mean, this is way out in front of home plate, and you can see this angle. And and again, I mean, you work on blocking balls all spring, but they're usually a little closer to home plate.
So now at third, 2 down.
Yeah, a huge 3-run inning, and now a lot of pressure because of Buxton's speed. There are no routine ground balls when he hits them.
Ground ball, base hit right field. That'll score another run. Boy, what a beautiful swing that was.
Well, but what happened, Gary, was he got back to where the strength is. You had to throw him a fastball. You saw a couple back-to-back sliders. The second one was a wild pitch, and right here he's looking fastball. It's not a horrible pitch. It's just the approach. He's sitting on a heater. He gets a heater, doesn't try to do too much, lets it travel. You take a fastball that's 92. If you hit it back into your stance, it probably slows down by about 5 miles per hour. So it's a little bit more easy of a pitch to handle, and you saw the result.
So the visit by Roger McDowell, as 4 runs are in, and they're getting a couple of these. 2 of the 4 have scored with 2 down here in the inning. So for Kevin Gausman, a very tough first inning, opening up his 2018 season. He'll face the 8th batter for the Twins and the hottest hitter in this series, as Kepler will stand in. He has had a big series, 3 for 7, double, home run. He has hit in all 9 games that he's ever played against the Orioles at a .429 clip.
You're 15 for 35.
Throw over with a shift on.
I was talking to Caleb Joseph, who does the catching along with Chance Cisco, and he says of all the hitters that I've ever tried to call a game, and this guy's confusing. He said he'll be late on the fastball, then he'll be right on the fastball. He'll look bad on a breaking ball, then he'll hit a home run like he did last night on a curveball. But a young talented hitter.
Check swing he didn't mean to, and it's fouled off. I was talking with Paul Molitor this morning and about Kepler and how much he likes him. He said he's just a professional hitter. But he said, I think that first at bat that he got in game number 1, where I think it was a 10-pitch at bat,
11.
He kept fouling him off and then ended up with a single. He said that was a real motivator for him at the plate that gave him great confidence to start the year. Leaning is Buxton at first, so you got to keep an eye on him, as he definitely can run. Against Kevin Gausman last year, base stealers were 9 for 12. Cisco didn't have many chances last year behind the plate to throw out base runners. 0 for 5 in that department.
Well, he's 25 straight. And
ball in the air to center. Adam Jones is going to have room on this one. And he's got it, but 8 come to the plate, 4 cross, and the Twins lead it early 4-0. Chocolate he's eaten this morning. Here's the lineup for the Orioles. It's brought to you by Southwest. Low fares, nothing to hide. That's transparency. Davis, Machado, and Schoop. Jones, Mancini, Rasmus, Beckham, Alvarez, and Cisco. Tim Beckham last season had a career high 22 home runs, and he's got one this year.
And Jose Barrios out of Puerto Rico, former #1 draft choice, 14 game winners. You can see a couple of fastballs, 93 to 96. Curveball, it could be really good. Changeup, and not so much. Probably uses that more against lefties. So again, at home last year, he was 9-1. On the road, not so much. So the Orioles, he's on the road. You got your work cut out.
Chris Davis has been in that #1 spot for the opening series. Still looking for his first hit of the year. He is 2 for 6 lifetime off the right-hander, and will foul that one back. Got a pretty good pitch to hit right there. He's had one up there, Barrios.
Yeah, you can see that's back in May of last year. Just the fastball he pulls in, and he just stayed on it. But they've been throwing a lot of off-speed stuff.
Towering pop-up left field down the line. Long chase. Escobar, the shortstop, gives way, and a nice sliding catch. Rosario.
Yeah.
His speed continues to show up.
Well, he saved the no-hitter last night on a nice sliding on a rocket off the bat of Trey Mancini, and right here playing deep because of what Chris Davis can do home run wise and drive it up the gap. So he comes a long way, and then he looks at, here's Escobar. He gets out of the way because he calls it off. And take a look at their defense. It's a good one. Only 78 errors. Only the Indians with less errors last year. Rosario Buxton won the Platinum Glove. Kepler, SANO, Escobar, Dozier won a Gold Glove. Morrison playing first with Bauer doing the DH, and then Garver. And Mitch Garver doing the catching.
So a quick out here, and here's Manny Machado. Manny may get brushed back by Barrios because Manny's put some numbers up against him. He's gone 4 for 8 with a home run off the right-hander of the Twins. 1-0 delivery to him. Manny on a cut, pitch down and away that time. Barrios against the Orioles, 4th start. Previous 3, he's gone 2-0 against the Orioles. A 4.67 ERA here at Camden Yards. He has had 1 start. He won it, going 6 1/3, giving up just 3 earned runs in the ball game with 7 strikeouts.
Yeah, to his arm side, which would be to righties. I mean, the ball's got good run, and then he's got the sweeping curveball. And you know, both Odorizzi and then we saw at Gibson. In this count, you wouldn't see a fastball. But here, this guy throws 95, so a little bit more with a heater. And he's going here, try to hit this, and then throws it right on the corner.
Ticked it, and he turned around to ask Marty Foster whether or not that was a strike or not.
And there are the numbers you talked about.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Outfield will move a little bit more to right. Buxton moves that way in center, and that'll be fouled straight back into the screen. Manny's had real good games against the Minnesota Twins, carrying a .336 career batting average against the Twins ball club. They give him that left center field again, as they've done throughout this series. 2-2 delivery on the way, and he'll put that one up in the air to right center. Center fielder Buxton was moved over there, so he didn't have far to go. 2 down. Two away, nobody on, and Jonathan Schoop.
Well, broke up the no-hitter last night. What, 7 2/3 innings of no hits for the Orioles, and then Ryan Presley came in, pitched a no-hit after Gibson left after 6. 5 walks for Kyle Gibson, and he had a slider right back up the middle, and that was the first hit.
His first hit of the season. Shift on against him. The breaking ball will miss outside. Jonathan with 2 away. A couple of hits, 8 at bats off Barrios, including a home run to short. Escobar. He'll make the play, and the Orioles are retired relatively quickly in this one. Just 11 pitches thrown by Barrios. One around the majors. Philly skipper Gabe Kapler went to the mound, called in a reliever from the bullpen. That reliever had not thrown a pitch in the bullpen. Miscommunication was the reason given. Kevin Pillar, first Blue Jay in history to steal 3 bases same game. Yes, he stole home against the Yankees and Dylan Betances in that ball game. And the Yankees, the DL piling up 4 outfielders now in the DL. The Yankees today have called up Miguel Andujar, who is a third baseman. Aaron Judge is going to be playing in center field with all the injuries. A pretty eventful day Saturday around the majors. Pitch taken for a strike as Mitch Garner, who's doing the catching, Garver rather, the only Twin not to bat in that first inning, gets his first at bat of this year. Pitch will be bounced in the dirt.
And not of a lot of at bats. Pretty good spring. Again, somebody's got to back up Jason Castro. He'll do most of the catching.
Hit 196, 23 games last year at the big league level. Did not come up until the middle of August. 1-1 delivery on the way. That one is going to miss inside. Kevin continues to fall behind hitters here early.
Well, lack of velocity and lack of command, and that's it started with the first pitch pretty much in the middle of the plate. Dozier, he lives for the fastball in the about belt high. Got it, homered.
2-1 pitch on the way. Garver will slap that one to short. Manny. One away here in the second inning. The Orioles now offer the new Kids Cheer Free initiative, inviting parents to bring young Oriole fans ages 9 and under to the ballpark for free. Every adult who gets a regular priced individual game ticket Upper Deck is invited to bring 2 children ages 9 and under to the ballpark. Compliments of the Orioles. Great idea for the whole summer. All home games. Go to Orioles.com/kidsfree. And opening day for the kids here. Ball put up in the air very high. Manny's going to settle under it, put it away. That one had some hang time to it, and Dozier, after the home run, is retired.
Yeah, so same thing. First pitch fastball, just instead of it being up, inside middle, it was down a little bit, popped it up. And the only thing you can do, I mean, it's not only physically, but I think it's an emotional thing. I mean, now have 5 outs, you've already faced the leadoff guy twice. You've already given up 4 more runs than you anticipated. So, hey, throw on the brakes. The Orioles get another 24 outs and hope that they can offensively meet the challenge.
Bauer will take the pitch down low. Got 2 outs, 5 pitches to start this inning for Kevin Gausman. Totally the opposite of what happened in the first. Bauer helped out with a walk. He would come around to score. 1-0 delivery on the way. Don't forget that Rosario bunt, the cleanup batter, putting down a bunt single in that first inning that helped create the 4 runs on 4 hits. Will we see more of that this year in response to the shifts? Be interesting to watch that as we roll along. Not just from the Twins and Orioles. Hit hard right at Jonathan Scope. 1-2-3 inning. Gausman sets him down. Orioles will have Jones, Mancini, and Rasmus due up to call the 8 pitches to retire 3. Visit mdlottery.com/home run. Jacob, good luck. Chad Cisco's doing the catching today. Caleb Joseph and he chatting between innings.
Yep, more experience with less experience, and that was just a tough inning. You know, all those things that you talked about, Rosario. I mean, you know, you play for Paul Molitor, who was, you know, he's in the Hall of Fame. He did get 3,319 hits, but he knew how to play the game. He could steal bases. He could do a lot of things to help you win. I mean, he could hit home runs. So you're going to play for your ball club, and Rosario hits 27 home runs. He did the right thing. I mean, and teams have to have a good balance to do that. And
Adam Jones will go against the shift. Second baseman Dozier is there. Adam has got one hit in the series. The game-winning home run is retired. Oriole fans, when the Orioles score 5 runs or more, get 50% off regular menu price online orders at papajohns.com with promo code Orioles5. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's. That'll bring Trey Mancini to the plate. Trey, a couple of hits, 5 at bats against the 23-year-old right-hander on the mound. That 2-0 mark against the Orioles. 260 left-handers hit against him last year. 222 for the righties. Cut off. Escobar on the money.
yeah, Dozier, of course, won the Gold Glove. Escobar taking Jorge Polanco, who was, as you mentioned, the first couple of games, 80 games, ED suspension of some sorts. But he just cut him right off, and a little bit off balance throw, but certainly going right towards first made the play look easy.
They aren't worried about Escobar playing at short.
Well, then Adrianza, we saw him. I mean, the switch hitter that they know is a very good defensive player. So you never like to lose a regular player, which is what Polanco was, who had a nice year for him for 80 games. But hey, it happened.
Yep. Here's Colby Rasmus, 2 down, nobody on. 3 pitches, 2 outs in the inning. That pitch is at the knees for a strike. Colby's had 3 at bats here to open the first series up. Has gone 0 for 3. That's the same number he is against the Twins right-hander. They put the shift on against him, recognizing his speed. Dozier plays much closer at second base in the shift than he would otherwise. 0-1 count, and moves that one inside. Lights on. Overcast skies, but very comfortable. And the Orioles, plenty of time to get back in this one here on this Sunday at the ballpark. This Twins team that had the 44-37 road record last year, trying to start out with a victory on the road in a series. 1-2.
You know, 83 wins, and then they had a horrendous start year before last, and end up only winning 59 games. Worst defense in the American League. That changed last year. They went 85, 20-10 in the month of August.
1-2, and that one was up 94 and got him. So a 1-2-3 inning as Berrios has retired the first 6 Orioles faced. Receive exclusive orange carpet benefits. Visit Orioles.com to find the membership plan that's right for you. Gary Thorne, Jim Palmer with you here at Camden Yards. A lot of the Easter attire for the Easter parade here at the ballpark. Even if you need a little help getting around in it. Orioles infield will shift around as SANO will come to the plate. SANO, a strikeout victim, his first time up. And he will take the pitch. 1-0 count to SANO. Kevin Gausman with a walk and a couple of strikeouts so far. 2 divergent innings. 4 runs, 4 hits in the first, and then quick 3 outs. That one to right field, and watch it go way back, and goodbye home run up onto the flag court. SANO delivers the long ball, and the Twins, using the homer in this series to their advantage, have done it again.
Well,
they've got a 5-0 lead.
It's almost like Yankee Stadium. I mean, it looks like Aaron Judge flying out into the seats and right. You know, you miss with a slider, so you have a young hitter who lives for the fastball. You miss with a slider, and then what's he looking for? So here you go. And it's a fastball. I mean, it's again in the middle of the plate, but he lets it travel, and he's so strong, and he just belts it. And you can just tell from the sound it's going to go a long way.
So the opposite field home run, and SANO a leadoff homer in the third. Dozier had a leadoff homer in the first. SANO has his 8th home run against the Orioles in his career, and 5 of the 8 have been hit here. Foul back and out of play. Rosario, who, as we mentioned, laid down that bunt to help out in that first inning, would come around to score on a wild pitch later in the inning. So the Twins now opening up some real good power. They've outscored the Orioles 22-8 in this 3-game set so far, and we're only in the 3rd inning here, so that can change both ways.
Well, we keep talking about Paul Molitor, but you know, you're going to be a good manager, you better have good coaches. And James Rowson came on last year. They scored 815 runs. That's got and a nice little running fastball. There's a little extra velocity, and boy, we've seen Rosario thinks it's outside. This ball just runs right towards the outside corner, and then it's up to Marty Foster. And that ball, again, I mean, really late life. Looks like it caught the corner. But anyway, they went from 722 runs to 815. And SANO, again, only got up a little over 400 times because of the leg injury. So they got a chance to be a pretty good offensive ball club. And
yep, they've got a good mix of speed in there too. Yeah. Buxton, Rosario, and a 1-0 count.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much, you know, Logan Morrison's not going to steal a lot of bases, but he can hit home runs, and you know, he can DH, as we saw the first 2 games. He's a pretty good first baseman.
Way up in the air, left center field. Mancini's coming in, and TREY will put it away. Morrison is 0 for 2. Orioles, of course, great concern about the rotation coming into the year.
Well, they certainly, you know, going into spring training, Tillman hadn't re-signed. You hadn't gotten Cashner, you hadn't gotten Alex Cobb, so they're all signed. Cobb working his way back into pitching shape. But at the end of the day, I don't think they could ever pitch as poorly as they did last year. That's just the kind of year. It was inconsistent. You know, the bullpen had the least amount of innings of any American League team. So again, you'd like to think that's going to improve. But again, you have to play a good concert. I mean, you got to pitch and you got to play defense, and you know, it's not just the starters. So hopefully that will improve, and then everything else will take care of itself.
Eduardo Escobar, 2 down, nobody on, delivered a double, picked up an RBI first at bat, drills that center field. Adam Jones back and looking, another one. Goodbye home run right underneath the batter's eye. That's 420, 25 or more away, and the boos reign here at Camden Yards as Kevin Gausman's getting tattooed.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Eduardo Escobar, you go, well, he's not a very big guy. Well, he hit 21 home runs last year, and in 14, he's a switch hitter. 14 hitting left-handed. This is a splitter. Look where the glove is, and it ends up right down the middle. This is where you don't want to throw it. This is where he wants it, and he just drives it. And it's not like he's trying to pull it.
The splitter is what, about 84, so it speeds up the bat. He's just trying to use the whole field, and then when you got a little bit of pop, it just sails out of here.
So 3 home runs against Kevin Gausman in the first 3 innings, 2 of them coming here in the third by SANO and ESCOBAR, and the Twins jump out to a 6-0 lead. Game that looks a lot like yesterday's. For Gausman, last year he surrendered as many as 4 home runs in a game. Chicago got those, and that was a career high. He also had a couple of other ball games in which he had surrendered 3 and 4. Down to third, Beckham on a short hop, can't get it, and Buxton with that speed, you don't get a second chance. He is on.
No, you either got to catch it or you got to keep it in front of you, and then of course with him that would have been bang bang. It's hit sharply. There's the short hop, and again new position for Tim Beckham. Manny Machado as good as anybody at third base. They moved him to shortstop, so again, you're trying to experiment. You could see just not quite getting a good read on the hop and not being able to stay with it.
His first error, the Orioles' second on the year, and they're going to get the bullpen ready to go and may need to sequence their way. 2 down, and the pitch down low for a ball. Kepler flied out to center field his first time up. So after that 1-2-3 second inning, Twins come right back in the third against Kevin Gausman and recreate the first inning. Pretty good lead by Buxton. Gausman will take the long hold, and the pitch in the dirt gets away, and that'll send the runner down to second. Cisco trying to come up as though he was going to throw before he actually had the baseball.
Yeah, and of course this is another split-figured fastball that bounces, and I mean all over the place. Sliders bouncing. There's the changeup grip, and again way out in front, almost snags it. And you can see right there, I mean, Buxton with incredible speed.
Second wild pitch of the ball game for Gausman, and a 2-0 count with 2 down on Kepler with a runner now at second base. And he gives up nothing on that swing.
It just doesn't look. I mean, obviously you look at the scoreboard and you go, what's wrong with Gausman? But I mean, that's 91 miles per hour. I mean, that's, you can do that in his sleep. He's just hasn't had good command, hasn't had the normal velocity. And again, sometimes you don't pitch on regular rest. It's kind of interesting how the game has evolved as far as starting pitching. We would always pitch, 7 innings 3 times, and you'd go down and throw the 8th and the 9th, so you could pitch 9 innings or more opening day. They back them off, and I would imagine, at least when I'm watching this game, doesn't have velocity, doesn't have command, not near as sharp as he was in his last game in spring training. But then again, he hasn't been out there as much as maybe he needs to.
3 ball 1 strike count, 2 away. Orioles looking for another elusive out here to end this inning, and that pitch is going to be walk number 2.
And then Marty Foster misses the curveball that ends up right down the middle.
So runners on at first and second base now with 2 away. Garver will get the opportunity. The number 9 hitter, the catcher, grounded out his first time to the plate. Where are we with the Twins? Runners in scoring position already. They're getting a lot of chances early on. They left only 1 in the first inning. They get 2 more on here with 2 down. Garver will take the pitch, and that will be a ball. They have gone 2 for 3 so far here in this ball game. 1-0 count, 2 down. 53 pitches.
Well, I know that Kevin would like to hang around because he'll help the team by doing that.
That one off the fist may have broken the bat down the line. Mancini coming in will get there and will make the catch in fair territory. Couple of home runs though. SANO and ESCOBAR, 2 more on the board. 6-0 Twins. players representing an all-time record from 21 different countries and players born outside the 50 states. And that's why baseball is moving to play regular season games all over the world. The Dominican Republic leading the majors with 84, Venezuela 74, Puerto Rico places third with 19. This Minnesota team, of course, is going to Puerto Rico this month, play 2 regular season games, and they are excited about doing that. Tampa Bay will be the team they will face on the 17th and 18th. Next year, Red Sox, Yankees in England, along with a couple of other overseas games to be played. So the international flavor of Major League Baseball with the market continues to grow. Looking to bunt for a base hit, went after, or it is a strike. Beckham. Bottom third of the order, Alvarez, Cisco. The Orioles looking for their first base runner of the ball game. Beckham with a couple of RBIs on the home run. He picked up in the game yesterday, 1 for 8 to start the year. SANO in at third. That's where he wanted to be. Plenty of time. Broken bat, ground ball, and Beckham's retired. One away here in the bottom half of the third inning. Orioles head out after the ball game to Houston. We'll be there with you tomorrow night. Houston will be celebrating their World Series victory, of course. Chris Tillman, Charlie Morton will be the starters. Mike Wright, Justin Verlander, game 2. Dylan Bundy, Dallas Keuchel in game 3. Buck was talking about the communication with Houston. They sent along the script for the opening night tomorrow. Buck said, I think we're going to end up standing on the field watching it for about 20 minutes. Which is not something they really want to do.
Well, you know, I mean, how often do you win a world championship? That's the first time they've ever done it down in Houston. And what, you know, it's funny is, you know, they won 101 games or whatever, but it wasn't easy.
No.
I mean, they came from behind. You know, it seemed like every time the home. Well, that's where your home field advantage in the World Series.
1-1 Alvarez will foul that one straight back. Designated hitter for the Orioles today, Pedro Alvarez, who's had only the 1 at bat here in the first 3 games. Cisco is waiting on deck.
Yeah, Barrios will pitch one of those games down in Puerto Rico. Hailing, as we mentioned, first round draft choice, compensation draft.
Upstairs.
But he's just got one of those live arms, and you know, he talked to Bert Blyleven, who went, you know, does TV for him, and he's saying, listen, this guy has a chance to be a #1 starter. He's got a good fastball with good movement. You know, again, he's going to have to learn on the win on the road. Only 8-9 on the road coming in after going 9-1 at home last year, but again, they got him almost 6 runs a game last season, and already this afternoon he's got a 6-0 lead.
So here is Chance Cisco doing the catching. First start of the 18 season. Pitch will be taken away. Last year, 333 in the 10 games he got in, being called up at the end of the year. Cisco, Orioles #9 hitter. Barrios gave up a long ball deep to left field at the wall, and it's going to hit right off the top of it. Rosario got back there, couldn't get a glove on it. Second base, that's where you'll stop. And Cisco's got the Orioles' first hit.
Yeah, the way the ball's jumping, the Twins are already with 3 home runs, but he's playing so shallow. And he's got to run a long way right here. I mean, it's up in the air. And again, over your head, turns the wrong way, and then almost catches it. It looks like he's got the ball tracked. He just misses it. And it'll go as a double. And again, they just figured, you know, scouts have said, listen, Cisco, the 2 home runs he hit last year were pulled. It doesn't have pop that way, but hits it right over his head for a double. You want to get back in the game, pick him up here.
Orioles get a chance, get on the board. Chris Davis flied out his first time up. Cisco on at second base. Down to first. That is a fair ball. Morrison will take it to the bag. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and a base runner left on. Orioles in these 3 games now 3 for 11 with runners in scoring position. what drives you. Visit buyatoyota.com for great deals. So the Twins looking to take this rubber match. 6-0 lead. There's your line. How many chocolate eggs did you eat before you came to the game? Oh, very nice framing. Very, very strong. Hit that ball right here. I will catch it. Might want to have a glove.
Yes.
Hey, each to his own. However it works best. Kevin Gausman on the mound here as we go to the 4th, and Dozier is up again. He had a home run to lead off the ball game, popped out his second time up. So going through the lineup in a hurry, these Twins getting their at bats in today, and that one is going to miss inside for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Araujo up in the bullpen, second time. Pitch will be taken inside. Two ball, 1 strike count. Infield shifted around. And taken inside. Dozier's first home run off Gausman in that first inning. He is now 5 for 17 lifetime against him. Such a tough hit.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, you know what his capabilities are. That's how, I mean, he's not a huge guy, but great bat speed right there. It took a little bit off. So, you know, if you don't get it to the outside corner, which is why when you do your sides, you just live down and away to righties. You don't make that pitch, well, then you got to get them out with breaking balls like Bundy did, but they have to be good ones.
Yep.
We saw last night Cashner threw him a hanging slider. He singled back up the middle and started the big inning.
Goes after one that was inside. Play's got to be made. Cisco up over to Davis, and
yeah, so he gets back. Yeah, he gets back into the count, 3-1 on a BP fastball, and then Chance Cisco, he's got to work out. There's the splitter. It's time, block it. Nice job. Keep it in front of you. Dozier figured, well, maybe I'll get something else other to hit, but nice pitch there to strike him out.
4th strikeout picked up by Kevin Gausman. 1 away here in the 4th inning. And it'll bring Mauer to the plate. He has scored walk in that first inning. 0 for 1 officially at the plate. Joe will take the pitch for a strike on the inside corner.
Yeah, if I'm down 6-0, number one, I don't want my bullpen coming in because I figure I need to pitch a couple innings, get my earned run average about as low as I can get it. And of course, if you're going to hang out there, pitch well.
Mauer drives it towards the wall. It'll take 1 hop. It is fair. It is up, and it's a ground rule double. So Mauer picks up the 2-bagger with 1 away here in the 4th inning. The Twins have been a home run power here in this series.
Well, they hit 3 yesterday right here. First pitch of the game. Inside middle right here. You think it's just a fly ball, but no. SANO hit it. And then a splitter that stays in the middle of the plate. And Escobar golfs it over the center field fence for the 3rd home run. And then Joe Mauer. Now you can get a pretty good idea why he won 3 batting titles. And his lifetime batting average is over 300. You almost have to play him like a right-handed pull hitter.
Mr. Hit him the other way.
Yep. Well, and he only had 29 pull hits last year. 65 up the middle, 66 to the left.
So another RBI chance. SANO. That one blocked by Cisco. Runner on at second base, 1 away. SANO with a home run in the 3rd inning, his 2nd of the series. Also has struck out. Gausman trying to keep the score right where it's at. 6 runs on 7 hits. Now on the board for the Minnesota Twins. Mauer will get a decent lead out there. Gausman's delivery had him fooled on the speed of that one, down to 83.
Well, it's the same pitch he struck out Dozier, and the little splitter takes something off. You've already seen how he handles your fastball.
.246 last year for SANO in these RBI chances. Outfield straight away deep, especially Mancini and left. 1-1 pitch on the way and a golf swing, and doesn't get it on a 1 ball 2 strike count. So Gausman with a chance to get the number 3 hitter here. He struck him out the first time swinging. SANO has had a couple of hits here in the series, and they both have been home runs. He's had 4 hits off Kevin Gausman, and 3 of those have been home runs. 1-2 pitch. Did he go? Yes, he did. So the strikeout recorded. Mark Ripperger down at first base. Sano takes a long look at him. He's out of there in a check swing.
Yeah. Again, no, didn't really swing, but you're going to strike out 170 to 200 times. You got to get him out of the way early. But it was a quality pitch, and you know, again, if you don't throw him the splitter, the ball just dove out of the strike zone. You don't get the check swing, and it certainly could have gone in his favor, but it didn't.
So 2 down, and here's a 2-out RBI chance for Rosario. Bunt single, first inning scored. Called out on strikes last time up. Infield moves in light of his speed, just to gain a little advantage, and a 1-0 count to him. Kevin up to 67 pitches, as you see, thrown. 3 have been left on by the Twins so far. Orioles have left 1. Cisco getting the only hit for the Orioles. He's been their only base runner. 1-0 count. Osmond's pitch looking for the outside corner, found it. And we'll leave it up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Rosario only a .203 hitter lifetime against the Orioles, and even less here at Camden Yards, about $1.80 his average in this ballpark. That one back up and over the screen, and it will stay at 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, it's kind of, I mean, Kevin did pitch at least one of the games against Minnesota in Minnesota. 7 strikeouts in 4 innings, but he did give up, what, 6 runs, 5 earned, and it was another one of those games where he's going to strike people out because his splitter, you know, and sometimes the breaking ball usually has more velocity.
Had a reach on that one. Fouls it back off the screen, so it will stay at 1 ball and 2 strikes.
But it looks like this club, and we talked about how good offensively they are. They're young, but they're doing a good job of eliminating pitches till they get to 2 strikes, and then when they get to these counts, 1 ball, 2 strikes, they'll subjugate their ego and actually hit the ball the other way. Saw Buxton do it for an RBI single.
Taking after their manager. 1-2 delivery on the way, and again protecting that time, and will foul it back.
There's the first fastball at 95 we've seen all day, and it was a good pitch. It had good life, it had good location, and all he did was flick it foul. Hopefully trying to get a better pitch to hit. I think that's why, I mean, you look, a lot of these guys, you better be able to pitch them inside. And Kevin's more comfortable to the lefties away.
They'll take pitches. They were 3rd in walks in the American League last year. 1-2 delivery on the way, and he got around on that one, but had to go up to find it, and a 1 ball, 2 strike count. They weren't a big home run hitting ball club, despite what you've seen here in this series, as they ended up 9th in home runs. But they certainly, Paul Mahler's team has jumped out in that department.
But it kind of tells you about how many home runs are hit in the American League. They hit over 200, and they're only 9th with 206.
The nature of the game. Huh? Count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Runner off second, loops that one up in the air, third base side. Beckham in foul territory, and we'll put it away. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on. Our M&T doo-ups, it'll be Machado, Schoop, and Jones. Chronicle. There is no comfort in enjoying. There is comfort in enjoying what has been accomplished and momentarily neglecting what lies ahead. But the Astros are giving no signs of complacency. Justin Verlander said, "I was so impressed with how passionate these guys were in spring training, how hard they worked." He said there's no complacency, no sense of, okay, we can just take a breather now just because we won a championship. They have come out playing hard, and the Orioles will get a look at them tomorrow night. And Chris Tillman will be the starter for the O's in that ballgame.
Yeah, they actually, along with the Indians, had the most road wins of any team in baseball. They're 15 games over 500, 53 and 28 on the road last year. So not that it's easy to go down there and win, because it isn't. But they play well pretty much everywhere they go. Yep.
Houston, the opponent tomorrow night. Big swing and a miss.
Well,
Manny Machado.
Yeah, if you ever play on a world championship team, and I was lucky enough to play on 3 of them, they give you the rings, but then again they take away the trophy. It's waiting for another team, so you better show up. And
according to Buck this morning, there'll be the ceremonies raising the championship banner at the ballpark tomorrow night in Houston. Then for game 2, they're going to give away the rings. Buck said they're waiting for the second game to do that, so they're going to extend the celebration. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Manny, who flied to center his first time up. A check swing, he did tip that.
But another thing that I'm looking forward to, one of my former teammates who was their first base coach, Richie Dower, had a fall actually right after in the world. He slipped on a wet bathroom and had a brain bleed, and about 3% of those people come out of that. And saw him at fantasy camp doing great. He's going to throw out the first pitch. And I mean, his nickname was Wacko. He's back to being normal, and so we'll see him. And
that may be playable by the tarp. No.
He got netted.
Well, this is what we were talking about. There are going to be some differences because of the extended netting. Buck talked about that this morning, in fact.
Nobody really asked me last night. You see when I was talking with Joe West and them during the game? The new netting that goes down the lines and stuff, they decided to do the ground rules where, say Manny overthrew Chris by 20 feet and it hit the top of that netting down there, it's in play. I said, really, Joe? He said, yeah, it's like from the camera well down. He said, I've never seen it. I said, Joe, this is going to be in every park. They're not going to put the nets behind the fans. They're going to be butt up against it. So you're going to have this in every park. So we're kind of playing it like highlight. He didn't like that. He said, it's the same as the screen behind home plate. I said, yeah, but if you throw it up above a certain area, it's out of play. Well, that's the way we're going to do it. I looked over at Molitor. Molitor took his hat and turned it like this and went, really?
So that's what Buck had to say about that. That one, Garner, the backup catcher who's starting here, took a pretty good hit to the side of the head.
Look at the backswing right here. Manny misses this curveball. Watch the bat head. Comes all the way around and then really behind the mask and gets him right behind the ear. So again, they're definitely bleeding, but they're also going to say, okay, how about maybe a concussion protocol?
Yeah. That's the big question here. But whether he can stay in based on that protocol. Apparently the answer is yes. So he'll stay in the ball game as Manny Machado goes down on the strikeout. So what Buck was talking about there is that the ground rules do not say that for any of the ballparks yet. Apparently Major League Baseball has not issued any directives on balls coming off the screen, maybe because they thought they didn't need to because they'd be dead balls. But Joe West said no. That ball in the air to right center field. Buxton. Oh! Yeah. Buxton coming over, and Kepler. Buxton reaches in and hauls it in. Schoop retired.
Yeah, I think on a sunny day when you have the platinum gold glove, where you would have seen the glint of the glove coming over. But this guy, gold glove, platinum goes to the best of the gold glovers, and he won that award last year. Big outfield. Not here as much as it is in Minnesota. Former #1 draft choice, and last year, because they made so many errors and only won 59 games, they said, hey, we're gonna win a lot of games with defense, and he was a big part of them going all the way to 85 wins last year.
So Adam Jones 2 down. Barrios continues to roll along. No walks, 3 strikeouts so far. Adam grounded out first time up. So the crux of all of it, let's finish up with the screening thing, is this. And we don't know whether this is in effect today or not, because Joe West kind of created this ground rule yesterday during the game. If a ball goes into the screen, say on an overthrow in the infield, comes off the screen, it's just as though it was the screen behind home plate. The ball's alive, so you can keep running. Everybody thought that a ball that would go into the extended screen would be a dead ball.
Just like the old rule, if it's from the outfield, it's 2 bases. From the infield, it's 1.
Yeah, because the ball would have gone into the seats. Yeah. So that's where we are. 0-2. I suspect Major League Baseball will deal with that today or tomorrow. Jones down, Barrios cruising. Another 1-2-3 inning, and the Twins up 6-0.
He will leave pitching 4 innings. Now your pitching change brought to you by Jiffy Lube. Stores now do brake services. Stop in and let Jiffy Lube perform a free brake inspection today. So Araujo comes in. We saw him last night. Great slider to finish with a strikeout. Good changeup. Fastball in the mid-90s. Rule 5 guy. The Orioles are carrying 3 of them.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
Well, it may be the first time in a long time you've ever had a team would have more than 1.
Threw 11 pitches in his major league debut in the ball game last night. So Kevin Gausman to the right. Not the kind of start he had hoped to have here to begin the 18 season. Orioles still with a lot of at-bats left, but right now Barrios has put them down, held them to just 1 hit. The Orioles getting only 3 hits in the ball game last night, and they didn't pick up one of those until the 8th inning. And the pitch will be taken away for a ball. A lot of at-bats for these Twins hitters. Morrison with the 0 for 2. He has struck out and flied out. Escobar and then Buxton are due up. They put the full shift on in the infield against him. 1-0 delivery on the way, and the big cut when the helicopter finish, swung on and missed.
Yeah, and you notice he's wearing 99, late sign, $6.5 million after hitting 38 home runs. They pick him up, and they said all the numbers from 62 down were taken.
So, he's a hockey fan.
Yeah, I figured he was a Gretzky fan. He said no. He said it's better than being 72 or something like that. Apparently, the highest number ever was Tony Batista. He wore number 77 when he played with the Twins.
For the Twins.
For the Twins,
77.
yeah.
Yep. 99. Why not wear 99? That's a good number. You get into those 60s, 70s, and 80s, and people jokingly talk about you're the pulling guard for the football giants or something. And so
Elton
just
John,
go above that,
and
then it's really special.
Elton John, the best of the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. He's carrying that quite far. Congratulations, Elton. Who, by the way, is a big baseball fan. I didn't know that until I met him.
Yeah. Smart man.
Yeah.
3 ball, 1 strike count. Araujo trying to get one in here. Establish that strike zone. He does. Into the shift and a tough play. Long throw and a good one made. Jonathan SCHOOP with the big arm.
Yeah, everybody diving. That is your third baseman. It was Beckham, and I think he might have maybe landed on his stomach, a bit out of wind right here. So I'm sure Logan Morrison right here thinks it's a base hit. There goes the glove and the glasses from Tim Beckham, but SCHOOP's there to throw him out.
The big arm comes into play on that one. One out here in the fifth inning. Escobar 2 for 2, double, home run. 2 runs scored, 2 RBIs. So a big ball game already for Escobar, the shortstop, and he will take the pitch outside for a ball. Played in 129 games with the Twins last year with that .254 batting average. As Jim mentioned, 21 home runs. And the fastball will miss up high, and the count goes to 2-0. Buxton waiting on deck. Manager of the year, Paul Molitor, Logan Morrison, and he chatting. 2-0 delivery on the way, and that one will be taken. Twins have got another day game tomorrow, as they will be traveling to Pittsburgh. They've got 2 games, 3 days. Opener for the Pirates at PNC Park in Pittsburgh. And the Orioles get the opener against the Astros at home. 3-0 is the count. Escobar will take that one. It's a strike. Araujo owning a very good spring that got him on this team. He certainly was going to be in the mix, but he had to earn his spot with the Rule 5 players the Orioles had around. It was very unclear as to how many were going to be taken, and generally you try and have only one, because
if that,
you got to keep them, if that. And you don't like to have the maneuverability of the roster taking away from you, but there's no way they were going to send him down based on his performance. 3-2 delivery comes in and gets him.
Yeah, I thought he threw a little bit harder, but again, 90, you know, he gets back in the count and then the changeup. This is his best pitch. Watch his ball dive. Yeah, great finish on it. And that's what he did in spring training. Threw a lot of strikes, got ahead of hitters. And even when he gets the even count, or 3-2, able to make a quality pitch.
So 2 down, nobody on. Brian Buxton will stand in. Beckham will move about even with the bag at third, and the pitch will be on the inside corner. He was leaning into a pitch that ended up coming inside to him. He's had a base hit, reached on an error. He has picked up an RBI in the ball game. Gold Glove, Platinum Glove Award winner. 0-1 pitch, ground ball to the middle. That's going to be a base hit. Gently laid to center field. So a 2-out single. Buxton's on. Visit Orioles.com/Navy now to bid on a base used in the Army-Navy doubleheader here at the ballpark March 25. Base authenticated, now available for auction. Proceeds benefit the Naval Academy Athletics Association and the Fisher House Foundation. Bidding will close tonight at 8 o'clock. Orioles.com/Navy. Had a great doubleheader here. The players really enjoyed it. Fans had an opportunity to take a look at a college doubleheader with those great rivals. Next year, they'll be playing at the Naval Academy. With the Orioles involved in helping to establish that, the proceeds going to charity.
We used to almost on a yearly basis play an exhibition game down in Annapolis.
Yankees used to go to West Point. Neither of that's been continued. Throw over and Buxton back.
So 29 out of 30 last year, still one opening day. So he's on a streak of 25 straight. The record of consecutive steals, Vince Coleman back in the, I think, the late 80s, when he used to steal 109, 108 a year.
Yep. And he may very well go here with 2 down. Kepler with a walk and a fly ball out. And there he goes. Oh, what a jump. Throw down Cisco, 1 hopper, no chance.
Yeah, and that's not really stolen. I mean, that's just a combination. You know, the formula is for Paul Molitor, who could steal a lot of bases himself. You got great speed. It happens to be a splitter, so it takes a little bit longer to get there. And then, you know, quick release. And the ball will bounce. You've got to hurry because you know you don't have a whole lot of time. And then nice play right here, keeping it in front of him. Yeah, so there's a quick release. So maybe not a. I think the one question, they've been working on footwork with Chance Sisco, because to catch it for this club, you got to be pretty good defensive. John Russell, the bench coach, former catcher, so they've been working on release times and all that. But
timeout asked for by Sisco.
I mean, we saw that with Wellington Castillo last year. His pop time, in other words, the time he was able to catch the ball and get it on its way, was incredibly fast. Makes up for a lack of arm strength sometimes.
Twins with another scoring opportunity here, and the pitch will be taken outside. Runner at second. They are 2 for 6 with runners in scoring position so far in the ball game. And anybody's going to pick up an RBI who guards the plates. One who can do it.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's part of it. You're going to score over 800 runs, which they were one of 4 teams in the American League. They stole 95 bases, so they can manufacture and hit home runs and do a lot of things.
1 ball, 2 strike count. There are 2 down here, and Kepler will ground that to second base. Just onto the grass, little hop. It's good to be able to make the play. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. Twins on top, looking for a rubber match win. Easter Sunday, and the Orioles trying to get an offense going. It has not been a good series for them. Credit some outstanding pitching. Orioles got 5 hits in game 1, 3 hits in game 2 after they had been shut out on a no-hit bid through 7 2/3 innings, and now in this one they've had only 1 hit as we go to the 5th.
Well, there are the numbers. A lot of strikes for Jose Barrios, and quality and curveballs, and there's the big hook. I mean, it got tight spin when he gets it down, and then late life on the heater. And meanwhile, of course, they get him 6 runs. So as we said last night, 1 pitch is not going to beat him at this point.
Trey Mancini grounded out his first time up.
Wow.
Well, ladles that one, but it'll end up with a tremendous ricochet in the seat.
Well, you see the fastball, and when you look at the home runs at home, the Orioles with 135, the Yankees, of course, great place to hit at new Yankee Stadium. Athletics. That's it. Kind of give you an idea of how the ball traveled. Quite. It used to be a pitcher's park up there.
Our league leaderboard brought to you by Coons. When you're talking cars, you're talking Coons. Pitch missed away, and a 2-ball, 1 strike count. Rasmus and Beckham will follow. Infield again shifted around. Pitch on the way, popped up, had a weight on it, goes to the first base side, and it will be handled by Morrison. and Mancini is retired.
Well, the Twins, Derek Falvey, who is their vice president of baseball operations, said we have a clear and precise plan, and one of them is actually, they got the former Hall of Famer who's well known and manager of the year last year, but they also went down to Tampa Bay, got a guy named Josh Koch, who is their analytic guy, and you can see the way they have pitched the Orioles right there. 2-1 changeup with a 6-0 lead. So analytics has a big part of the game, the way they called the game, the way they pitched this, and you can see by the scoreboard it's been tough to put runs on the board the way they're going after the Oriole hitters.
And a 1-0 count here on Rasmus, a strikeout victim, his first time up. Rios working quickly, gets that one in there for a strike. Paul Molitor talking about the analytics and the use of it by a manager. He said those who are going to be successful with it are going to do what the analytics say and what their eyes tell them. He says you've got to combine them. If you don't, the analytics don't matter. And I think it's absolutely right. And it's just the combination of how you see them. He said the situation defines what we see on the field. We get a head start from the analytics, and then we make a decision at the moment based on what's going on.
Well, A.J. Hinch, who's managing Houston to the World Championship, said it's got to take what you know, knows your analytics, and what you see.
That'll go to second base. Dosha's got that one, and Rasmus is retired. 2 down. For every Orioles walk, Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield contributes $50 to support the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society on their Light the Night walk. Those have drawn 12 walks, $600. Care First encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle. 2 away, bases are empty. Beckham coming up. He grounded out his first time up. The Orioles, for much of this 3-game set, have not been able to take advantage of the home crowd involvement. Minnesota pitchers and the Minnesota hitters with their home runs just have not allowed that to happen. Jumping out here in the last 2 games in particular, and then coming back from behind in game number 1 to send it into extra innings, and the fans got in it on Adams' home run to put it away. But otherwise the pitchers have gotten it done. That one you saw slip out of his hand, came inside. Fortunately for Beckham, didn't get him.
Yeah, a little curveball that almost like he's maybe going to get nicked in the shoulder, but gets out of harm's way.
1 base runner for the Orioles on the 1 hit. Chance Sisco with the 3rd inning double. 1 ball, 1 strike count here. Popped up first base side. You hear the pitcher hollering in no uncertain terms. Rios puts it away, and a 1-2-3 innings, 7 in a row retired. Doing sensing research at NASA currently working to establish the electronic coastal monitoring and assessment program, an early warning system to allow decision makers to warn coastal communities on dangers, especially with the rising sea levels. We honor her. It's exactly what I was doing at the age of 14. To donate to today's Birdland Community Heroes nonprofit beneficiary, go to Orioles.com/heroes. That's just, I mean, that's great. That's just unbelievable. She's working at the Goddard Biospheric Science Lab, 14 years old, and working on a sensing system for coastal communities. I love her.
Yeah, if you believe what you read, is going to be much needed.
Yes. That's a life's road.
Yeah,
you start on something that young in something that technical. I mean, if that's what you love to do, and you got to believe she does, or you wouldn't be doing that at that age. Your life is out in front of you. The pitch taken inside, and Minnesota Twins looking to add to their 6-0 lead. My sensing process tells me the Orioles have an uphill battle.
Just like last night.
Yep.
Well, you mentioned last night, I mean, you are only in the 6th inning, so you'd like to have a uho. It's hard, easy. I mean, the spelling. I mean, I asked him in spring training. I asked the pitching coach, Roger McDowell. He goes, uho. And I said, really? He goes, I think so. And it hasn't gotten a whole lot better. All I know comes out of the Cubs organization, and he dominated last year in the Arizona Fall League, too. So they pick him up. Rule 5 draft, you pay $100,000, but you have to keep him for at least 90 days.
Garver will take a strike.
Yeah, righties in the minors had a lot of problems. 146, 22 for 151.
2-ball, 2-strike count. I mean, he certainly looks for real, not just a light in the dark that's going to disappear. Not the way he throws. And with confidence. 2-2 delivery on the way, and a ground ball to third. Beckham's going to back up for the hop. He'll get it over to Chris Davis in time. Garver is retired. 1 down, top half of the 6th inning. And our minor league report brought to you by PNC. No better time to act than today. PNC, make today the day.
Well, it's a matter of time and experience and innings. You can see right there, 24 games, ERA very low. He throws close to 100. Left-handed pitcher, working on the breaking ball, working for command, and hopefully he'll be able to pitch more often, more innings this year, and then who knows? Will he be in the bullpen? Will he be a starter? One of those great live arms. Boy, how many lefties can you find that can throw close to 100 easily? And you got a good wind-up. You watch him throw, and it's just a matter of being able to repeat it.
Brian Dozier, leadoff batter, led it off for the home run in the 1st inning. Pitch will be taken up high. He has popped up and struck out since. Now 30 years of age, working in his 6th major league season. Gold Glove winner, as we talked about. He's led the Twins in home runs 5 consecutive seasons. The leader in homers.
Yeah, potential free agent.
Foul back and out of play, and a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Well, he's barring any injuries, should have some real good years in front of him. Minnesota's been his home throughout his major league career, coming up through the organization. It'll be interesting.
Well, won his first Gold Glove, could steal some bases. We've talked about his home run prowess.
2-1 delivery on the way, and that ball's in the air and gone. He got a hold of another one and way back and up and goodbye. Home run, 2 in the ball game.
Boy, would he love to hit in this ballpark.
Wow, that's his area right out there in left field.
That's probably about 360 feet. And you can see how quick. He got behind him, made a couple of good pitches, and then all of a sudden the high heater. Boy, does he live on that pitch.
He comes through the strike zone so fast with that bat. 97 off the bat velocity on this one.
Well, you can see where the target is, and he misses by about maybe a foot. So again, Cisco sitting in, ball in the middle of the plate. Boy, and he's got a classic. He's a littler version of Harmon Killebrew, who ended up in the Hall of Fame. Great twin slugger. I think with 546 lifetime home runs.
So the Twins, another 3-homer day as a team. 2 of those coming for Dozier. They extend their lead to 7-0 as Molitor's team putting on a home run derby here in this one. 4.
Yeah, you lose
home
count.
runs.
3 last night, 4 today.
4 today. 1-0 pitch on the way, and that will be taken down low. So the Twins really putting a number up against the Orioles offensively. Dozier, his 8th career multi-homer game. First 2 of the season here. First RBIs of the year here in this ball game. So Dozier now has got 5 hits and 14 at bats to start the year out. Some kind of leadoff batter. Joe Mauer, 1 down, 3-0 count. He'll take, not close. So they keep the inning going with base runners. Get your game alerts on a higher level. Sign up for new and improved Orioles alerts on Facebook Messenger. Receive in-game highlights, exclusive signed gear giveaways, a new all-access segment, and so much more. Sign up at facebook.com/MASSINORioles. Send us a message today. You can join us now on Facebook Messenger. Sano's got one of the home runs. He has struck out twice. That's a Sano kind of day. Breaking ball will miss up high, maybe outside for a ball.
Yeah, now what he pitched last night, 31 pitches now. Probably didn't throw these many pitches in back-to-back games. Mike Wright, who would actually your long man, is going to pitch one of the games down in Houston. So you're a little bit short with Cobb not activated and trying to work to get back to the big leagues after signing a 4-year deal.
Looks like the 14th of April is when Alex Cobb will have a chance to get back. Mauer on at first base, only 1 away. Twins have drawn 3 walks in the ball game. And take the pitch inside, trying to stay away from that strength.
Well, yeah, that's the problem. I mean, again, when he gets ahead, he can use the other pitches. But I thought, again, like I said, I thought he had a little bit more fastball, but he's 90, 91, probably a little bit tired back-to-back nights. And again, when you go 2-0 and Sano's up there or Dozier, you either make quality pitches with your fastball or go to something else. And I think the league's going to tell him that. He's going to find that out in a hurry.
Arjun McDowell looking on, visit to the mound, of course. That counts of the 6 that you get during the ball game. 3-0 count here. Sano could well be swinging if he gets one. He'll take it for a strike. Paul Molitor was saying this morning, he's talking to his catchers about how to handle this rule about visits to the mound. Paul said what we've agreed on is they'll look over to me first if they want to go out to the mound to talk, and I'll let them know whether I want them to go out. So the manager's going to have some control over that, keep that under control. The big uppercuts fouled off at the plate. 3-2. Buck with John Russell, of course, heading up the catching coaching, will be doing the same thing as they'll look over and John will make some of those decisions. Buck will let him know if he wants the catcher to go out. Just something else that you got to keep a count on so you know where you are in visits to the mound. 3-ball, 2-strike count. Mauer's on at first base. We're in the 6th inning. 7-0 lead for the Twins. And the big sweep is strike 3.
And Sano says, well, I had you and then you got me, because he got back to 3-2 and went to his strength. Great change up. Bottom drops out. Buck Showalter will come out and make a pitching change.
So Blyer will come in. Part of this has got to do with keeping an eye on what's going to be available for the next games in Houston, making sure your bullpen's not entirely worn out.
pitch, home run. 34 of them last year right here. A little bit of luck right there. ESCOBAR dumps it down the left field line. They will score 4 runs in the first inning. Dozier comes up again. Second home run of the night. 4 total or afternoon total for the Twins. Have a 7-0 lead. Those are your Geico highlights. 15 minutes can save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save. So Richard Blyer on. Yeah, the crafty lefty. Strike thrower, former starter out of the Yankee organization. And then again, pretty much, lefties, righties, doesn't really matter. Not a hard thrower, but throws a lot of strikes, quality strikes, a little backdoor slider to the right-handers. And then the big swerve against the lefties. There it is. And you can go from about 876, maybe 74, all the way to about 88, 9, 90.
2 down, 2 strike count. Rosario picked up the bunt single, scored in the first. He has struck out and popped out. Blyer got the win in game number 1. Has worked an inning, gave up just 1 hit. And for Blyer, his 3rd major league win. His record is 3-1 in his career in the major leagues. Last year with the Orioles, picking up a 2-1 mark in 57 games that he appeared in. Worked 63 innings. Shift on. And the pitch will miss inside. Rosario's got a runner on at first base. Mauer, who drew the walk. And Rosario with a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Mauer and Davis down at first. Blyer looking right at him. And a chopper foul. Well, the count stays at 2-2.
Yeah, you go back and look at the Orioles bullpen last year. You saw Miguel Castro. He got picked up very late from Colorado. Blyer from the Yankees. Both had a big impact on the Orioles bullpen.
But in the air to left field, Trey Mancini will have room, and he's got it. Rosario is retired. A home run. Dozier's increased the lead. Ram due up. Alvarez, Cisco, and Davis. Independent American Standard Heating and Air dealer at midatlanticcomfort.com. The Jim Palmer, I'm Gary Thorne. Great tennis player Pam Shriver here at the ball game. Brady Anderson there behind. There he is.
Yeah, there's Brady, and of course Pam grew up in Baltimore. Almost won Wimbledon when she was like 15. Great doubles player, one of former neighbor, and I don't know if she actually invested in the Orioles when they. Peter Angelos's group bought the team.
7-0 lead. First ball hitting. Alvarez.
Yeah, big.
SANO is just all over the place. because in the shift he ends up over at second base. That's about the third one that he has caught in the shallow outfield area as a third baseman.
Yeah, of course you can see him right there. He just calls it, and of course when he says I got it, everybody gets out of the way and they clear the area.
And he moves pretty well.
Well, that's what 7-0 does. You know, first pitch you're down 7-0. Hey, it's hard. You're not grinding out bats. You know, 2-1, 3-2, 1-run ball game. Now all of a sudden, and I'm not saying that they're giving up the bats. It's just it's harder to focus. And you know, Jose Barrios is good stuff, throwing strikes.
Cisco had a double his first time up. It is the only hit on the board for the Orioles and their only base runner, as Cisco got that with 2 down. Barrios has gone the distance, no walks, 4 strikeouts. Twins chase Kevin Gausman, 6 runs, 7 hits over 4, and got out to that early lead with a 4-run first inning. 2 more in the 3rd and another in the 6th. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Cisco. From Houston tomorrow night for the opening game at home for the Astros. We'll be on the air 6:30 O's Extra, 7 o'clock for the ball game. Chris Tillman, Charlie Morton. Morton was 14-7 last year. Again into that shift, and again the third baseman playing there. 2 down. Top of the order, Chris Davis. Let's take a look at our notebook regarding Houston. Altuve, Correa both went 4 for 5 in a 9-3 win yesterday. First time those two have each generated at least 4 hits in the same game. The Astros have had only 11 hits in their first 18 innings of the year. They've split the first 2 at Texas. They are 1 for 15 with runners in scoring position going into the game today, and they will be getting underway in about 15 minutes with their game in Texas. A 1 strikeout. Davis still looking for his first hit. He is flied out, grounded out, 0 for 11 to start the year, and the pitch up and away. 1 ball, 1 strikeout. There's your shift again. Everybody else should just get off the field, leave SANO. He's going to make the play no matter where it is. 1-1 pitch. Grounded right into the shift. Dozier. And another 1-2-3 inning. Orioles have been retired 3 up, 3 down for the last 3 innings.
As we mentioned, this is the rubber game of this 3-game series. They put 4 on the board, and they keep adding them. 4 home runs, 3 yesterday, 4. Tried to hit one on opening day, but Greg Gentry went right over the fence and grabbed it.
They've out-homered the Orioles 7-2 so far in the series. And the pitch will be taken up. Blyer stays on. We go to the 7th inning of this ball game. Twins 7-9-0. The Orioles 0-1-1. Orioles have left just that one on base. 6 have been stranded by the Twins. Richard Blyer's delivery will be fouled off. Morrison and 0 for 3. He's still looking for his first hit of the season, as he's had an 0 for 6 in the 3 games. He too will face the full shift in the infield. Molitor's Ball Club looking to start out 2-1 on the road. And started to go, did he? Nope. Doug Eddings down at third base, and a 2-ball 1-strike count on him.
Able to stop the bad hit.
Morrison's had 6 home runs lifetime against the Orioles. 3 of those here in this ballpark with his numerous at bats.
Yeah, 5 of those. Yeah, 5 of those last year with the Rays.
That one in the air, didn't get a lot of it. It's going to be a long run. And a nice running catch made by Trey Mancini. Morrison retired.
Yeah, again shifted over into left center because of the fact that he doesn't hit a lot of balls to left. So right here, working all spring on getting good jumps. Able to run it down, eyes never off it. And how you approach the ball. Of course, Wayne Kirby does a great job getting these guys. I didn't realize, I was reading he had 19, Wayne had 19 assists one year. And that was playing all 3 different outfield positions. I said, did you throw that poorly? They just kept running on you? He said, oh, no, the one hopper, a little backspin. It threw out 19 guys in one season.
A very high number.
No, is it ever.
0-1, go to third and foul. Beckham over to make sure. 17,212, 17,212 on hand for Kids opening day here on this Easter Sunday at the ballpark. Coaches, of course, in this day and age are really busy. Wayne handling the outfield, Bobby Dickerson the infield, constantly moving players around depending on situations and counts. From what the scouting report says, Bobby, who handles the infield for the Orioles. It's a lot of work. It's never ends. In every at bat, there are changes made for hitters. 1-2 delivery on the way, and that one down to third off the fist. Beckham's throw to Davis is there in time. Escobar retired, 2 down. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Happy day, dog. Nice hat. With the chapeau in place, 2 down here. Shortstop, Manny Machado's up. Throws over there in time. Buxton is retired. 1-2-3 innings. 7th inning stretch time on this Sunday. Twins leading at 7-0. to bring guys in for the bullpen. The Red Sox, Bill Lee arrived in a cart to relieve Ferguson Jenkins in a ball game 1977. The White Sox, Eddie Fisher, being brought in by an attendant in that cart. And the Orioles also had one, well known because of that cap that was on the top. That was about, what,
1993, yeah, Dave McNally getting out of the cart.
I love this, though. The Detroit Free Press ran the fact the Detroit Tigers are going to use a bullpen cart, and here were some of the tweets from the fans. Number one, that thing is going to put on a ton of miles this summer. Number two, I would love to see them come in by zip line. Number three, they need a bullpen first. And number four, they'll probably buy a used one with bad tires.
Well,
I love the fans.
I mean, and I thought David Letterman retired. I mean, that's like your top 10 reasons you need a bullpen cart. Well, but, you know, Gabe Kapler, you know, first year as manager, I get 21 pitchers in the first 3 games out of the bullpen.
You need a cart.
You need a zip line.
Well, the cart's coming back, and
or when you bring a guy in that hasn't warmed up, you go, wait, we have a flat tire coming in. Can you give us a 9 warm-up pitches or something like that? So,
Oriole bats got to get going.
Well, they do, and you know the starters aren't pitching up their capabilities. You know, Kevin Gausman didn't want to have the first inning that he had, but let's give credit to the Twins. They got to the wild card last year. They're on a mission. They think they've gotten better with the acquisitions they have, and you know, unless you play better than them, that's how you lose ball games. It's pretty black and white.
Bottom half of the 7th inning for the Orioles, still with just that 1 hit up on the board, and still with the Minnesota Twins starter Jose Barrios on the mound. No walks, 4 strikeouts. Winds that one in a little bit low. Another situation where a manager may have to make a decision about making a change. Not for the Orioles. Brad Brock is warming up. For the Twins, when do you pull a guy who's pitching a good game? The question yesterday, when do you pull a guy who's pitching a no-hitter?
Well, that pitch count, you know, 105. I mean, a little different here. I mean, 17 balls, 43 strikes. So pitch count well in hand.
Yeah.
And again, I mean, if you're the Twins and you're Paul Molitor, well, do you want to go to the bullpen because you want guys ready for your next series? I mean, that could certainly be a question. They play tomorrow, but they have an off day because, as you mentioned, it's Pittsburgh's home opener in case you'd have some weather up there. So again, you want to win today. You want to be ready for tomorrow. And of course, Rios is making it kind of easy because he's been so pitch efficient, and then the fact the scoreboard certainly helps because the Orioles are chasing a lot of pitches early in the count.
Manny 0 for 2 is flied out and struck out. He's had a couple of hits, 7 at bats in the series. He'll take that one. It will be away. And a full count.
And you look at his number. He won 14 games. We mentioned, I mean, he was fabulous at home. 9-1 on the road, 8-9 with an ERA of closer to 6 runs a game on the road. That's changed. But he didn't walk a lot of guys last year.
3-2 gets the ground ball to short. Long throw. Escobar will get a little help from Morrison at first base. 1 down. Well, sign up for the Junior Orioles. For the Orioles in your family, you can be part of the 18 Dugout Club. Memberships are only $25. Include your choice of 2 6-game ticket packages along with a backpack, cap, and more. And all guests get a seat for as low as $6 per person. Join today at Orioles.com/dugout club. Fans like that on your left and right, like those with the 2 great hats. Dugout Club opportunities for them. 1 down. Breaking ball will be taken down low. Jonathan Schoop 0 for 2. He's had 1 hit, 11 at bats. The Orioles came into this game in the first 2 games. They're struggling to get their share of hits. There goes a splintered bat into foul territory. Orioles hitting as a team only 125 through the first 2 games.
Well, I tell you, their starters have been, you know, Odorizzi the first day. I mean, he doesn't throw a lot of curveballs, but he did. Mixed up his pitches great. Gibson had the no-hitter through 6, even though he did walk 5. Barrios today, I mean, right there, you know, good misses with a curveball, comes back with another one. They have pitched real well, and meanwhile their offense has been outstanding.
Yep.
I mean, look at those. You know, again, I mean, this is what the Orioles do. They're 3 swingers, and you throw a lot of strikes, and they're quality strikes, and that's what he's been able to do. Movement with a fastball, sweeping curveball, change-ups on occasion. They've done a nice job of preparing to face the Oriole hitters.
Rios is 2-0 against the Orioles. 4th career start. Shattered the bat. SANO He's impressive. I mean, he moves really well for a big guy. He's got the ability to get the job done at third base. Hey, go beyond the stadium and discover the sophisticated ambiance of Lido Key in Sarasota on Florida's Gulf Coast. You can learn more at visitsarasota.com.
Yeah, and again for SANO, he did have, he hit 2 foul balls off the same spot. They had to put a 18-inch titanium rod up his ankle. I said, how's it bother you? He said, no, it hurt him for about 3 days, and then it stopped. Metal detectors go off when he goes through the airport, or maybe he goes when he goes around the bases. But I'll tell you what, I mean, talk about international scouting. They spent a lot of money, over $3 million to get him, and looks like he's going to be a pretty good player.
Regular. 2 down, nobody on. Adam Jones, 12 in a row have been retired by Barrios. 0-1 delivery on the way. Adam will foul that one back. That one coming in at 94, so the velocity still up there. Not that he's needed a lot of that tonight with his spotting of pitchers and the mix-up of the repertoire.
Well, the ball's running all over the place. Really live fastball.
Shift on against Adam. This defense of the Twins has had a shift on just about everybody in the Orioles lineup, right or left-handed. 0-2 is going to be up high. Get the sense he may be tiring just a little bit. Some of these follow-throughs aren't as crisp as they were earlier. He's at the 70 pitch count. 1-2. It's the long journey that they're concerned with, all teams, regarding pitchers. 1-2 on the way, and that ball in the air and an inside out. Not deep, right center. That'll be handled easily. Dozier, who was in the shift, goes back over to his regular place. Another 1-2-3 innings, 7-0 Twins. Mound against Charlie Morton. Our coverage on MASN will begin at 6:30 with those extra presented by Ford, followed by game coverage at 7. All the access you need right here on MASN.
Oh, there you go. Of course, Houston wins 101 games last year, and I guess the one thing that I look at it, we've seen it in the last 2 games, starters earned run average. Bullpen actually for the Orioles better. Orioles, it's they didn't score as many runs, but you score 4.3. Sometimes you take your chances, and of course Houston's a real good team, ended up being the world champs. So Brad Brock comes in, came in to try to get the close. 2-0 ball game on opening day. You got the first batter, ground ball, routine 1 hopper, lost in the sun, and then a series of jam shots and good at bats by the Twins. Gets a blown save. And the Orioles win on the walk-off by Adam Jones.
So back on here. And gets the ground ball on the very first pitch to Kepler. And a pitch and an out here in the 8th inning. May the force be with you. And the Orioles are going to host the Star Wars night here at Oriole Park. Comes up on Friday, May 11. Tampa Bay Rays will be in town that night. Tickets include a limited It's an O'Day Obi-Wan Kenobi bobblehead. You can learn more. We get your tickets at Orioles.com/Star Wars. The day Obi-Wan Kenobi night. Pitch taken for a strike. Starting behind the plate, Mitch Garver looking for his first hit of the new year. Straight up D on him. Delivery will be foul back. Brad had 6 blown saves last year. That one on opening day with the 2 runs, 2 hits in 2/3 of an inning. Buck and most pitchers too, they like to get right back out there, and something like that has happened. So Buck wanted to get him back in this ball game and just settle him back down again.
Well, the way the inning progressed, again, you don't lose a routine 1 hopper, 2 hopper in the sun. He's probably not walking Morrison. Kepler had one of the greatest at bats of the year, 11 pitch walk, and
got him looking.
Yeah, of course, he and Janae, his wife, they had their first baby. So he said, usually I dwell on it. I'm just going to come back. And he worked all year long, being able to throw the ball outside corner. Of course, Marty Foster's going to help on that ball a little bit off the corner. So again, you're going to be your closer. I think you got to be supportive. Certainly can do the job. Had 18 saves last year. Is he Zach Britton? There aren't too many Zach Brittons around.
One off the mask. And an 0-1 count. Dozier, 2-homer day. He has also popped out, struck out, solo shot leading off the ball game, and then another one in the 6th inning. Another solo home run. 2 of the 4 hit today by the Twins against the Orioles. The 0-1 count on him, and a chopper to third. Beckham, that one stayed down over there in plenty of time. So Brock comes on, retires the side in order. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Orioles being shut out 7-0. TV all season long. Sign up now through April 2nd at tmobile.com/MLB. Here at Camden Yards on this Sunday, the Orioles going into the 8th inning, having picked up only 1 hit, 1 base runner. Cisco clean double came in the 3rd inning. Jose Barrios, the starter, has walked none, struck out 4. His career high is 8 innings pitched. He has not thrown a complete game, nor obviously a shutout in his early major league career. 23 years old.
Well, from a pitch count standpoint, this, certainly he's in that realm.
That one to the Bermuda Triangle, but with the speed of Buxton, he just swings right on through it. And Mancini is out. MLB At Bat is your #1 Orioles app. Customize your experience to catch every moment. Get Orioles home screen icons and features such as MLB TV, the game of the day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, news, and more. Download MLB At Bat today.
Yeah, Michael Gibbons, who came in to save the day on opening day after Brock got in trouble, getting loose. Brad's got to be happy. Easy inning. Gets ready for Houston.
14 in a row have gone down for the Orioles. Rasmus late on the 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Colby has grounded out and struck out.
Well, Barrios has done everything. You get him a 4-0 lead before he even goes out there. I mean, he's throwing nothing but strikes, using all his pitches.
0-1 to Rasmus is there.
Got them all working.
4 runs, 4 hits first inning. Dozier the leadoff homer. They got RBIs in that inning from Escobar, Buxton, and scored 1 on a wild pitch. Escobar had the home run in the 3rd inning. Dozier got another one in the 6th inning. And a 1-ball 2-strike count here. A very clean side of the scorebook for the Orioles. 1-2. Colby Rasmus, who thought about leaving the game of baseball just to be back home, did that last year. Put on the restrictive list, decided wanted to come back and play. Here he is. Foul back and out of play. 1-2.
Well, we talked to him in spring training. I mean, there's a nice article in the Baltimore Sun just talking about, you know, his wife was pregnant. He needed to be home. And how many players will do that? You know, I mean, walk away. And he was having a great start with Tampa Bay. Well, hit like 9 home runs in 37 games and just realized his family needed him and
went home.
Yeah.
What a concept. Here's the 1-2 delivery on the way, and that will be taken up high. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, the game has been, I think, much more family friendly than when I played. I mean, you want to go what? You want to go home and see your wife have a baby? No, sorry. No, that's not going to happen. Now you have, you know, bereavement list. You have, you know, paternity leaves and whatever, and it's good.
Breaking ball will just miss. So the count goes 3-2. Barrios, as we said, has not issued a walk in the ball game. See what he does here. This will be pitch number 80 of the ball game for this right-hander. Rasmus, 3-2 delivery, and he got him.
Yep. 5
strikeouts.
Yeah, big strike zone and perfect pitch. It's not a good combination for the Oriole hitters. He's not trying to throw this ball for the corner. You can see where the glove is, but it tails right to the edge of the plate, somewhere in that vicinity.
So 2 down and nobody on, and that'll bring up Beckham. He has grounded out and popped out in the ball game for the Oriole third baseman. His league in Pittsburgh just got snowed out yesterday. They had some snow this morning again. They did get that first game of the doubleheader in and are getting ready to play the second game of that doubleheader. Boy, it's been a tough start for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Weather-wise, another postponed game. Kansas City and the White Sox got postponed today. They're expecting snow in New York come next weekend when the Orioles head there. We'll see how that develops.
Well, you got earlier starts and later finishes, and where's global warming when you need them in some of those cities?
That is global warming. Pitch is taken for a strike on the inside corner. It's been an interesting start. I mean, there's so many games, so much going on. It's kind of hard to follow everything, but there's been a lot of extra inning games. There's been a lot of offense in games.
And then, you know, how about the Dodgers losing 1-0 on Joe Panic home runs? First time it's ever happened in the history of baseball where you get one guy hitting 2 solo home runs and 1-0 wins. Did it against Kershaw, did it against Kenley Jansen, their closer.
It's been an interesting start. And as we've mentioned, baseball opening up the earliest it ever has, with teams getting extra days off compared to last year. So baseball moved the starts up as far as when the opening days are going to be. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Check swing on a ball in the dirt, did not go around on it. So another full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. 2 down, bases are empty here in the 8th inning for the Orioles. 3-2 delivery on the way, and that'll be in the air to right. Kepler was playing pretty shallow, so he's right there to put it away. Again, the Orioles are retired, and we'll go to the 9th inning. Givens will be coming on to pitch. Hide, that's transparency. And by PNC. Make today the day. So we go to the 9th inning and the Orioles to the bullpen. Brett Brock came on, retired the side in order with a strikeout.
As we mentioned, Michael Gibbons, he came on after the Twins tied the game up. Orioles went in the 9th with 2-0 lead to get the looping hit from Grossman to tie it up, and Michael Gibbons comes in, pitches great. Hitting the 3rd, get out of trouble. What a great year he had last year, and it looks like again it's going to continue. If you were with us, since he converted infielder, he's gone 18-3. So when he pitches, I don't know if the Orioles can come up with 8 runs, but he wins a lot of games. And how do you do that? You come in a lot of close games, you pitch well, they score runs, and you get wins. Orioles go home, everybody happy.
Robbie Grossman is the pinch hitter for Mauer. Grossman said his manager needs to get some at bats. I need to get him some playing time, but it's not easy when you got Rosario, Buxton, and Kepler in the outfield, and Grossman a DH outfielder. Gibbons' delivery to him is a strike.
Loves to hit here. He's 9 for 19. He's worn the Orioles out. 19 for 52, 6 doubles, 9 RBIs, and gotten on base about 43% of the time in 15 games. So he sees orange and black, and he gets hot.
2-1 delivery, and that's their first strike from Gibbons. So the offense coming early, the Twins getting the lead early, and then the game has just kind of moved along. 16 Orioles in a row have been retired. That'll be foul back. The Twins, they were set down in order in each of the last 2 innings.
Yeah, it's gone from overcast to, I mean, if you look down the left field line, not too many clouds. Sun's coming out.
36 degrees in Pittsburgh for the opener of that first game of the doubleheader there in the 9th inning. It'd be a little cool for game 2. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Detroit at home. Pittsburgh Pirates, and they've struggled to get the games in. Gibbons with the 2-2, and that's another one foul.
Hey, look out on the board. The Marlins, what, against the Cubs are ahead 6-0. So the Marlins, who sold off most of the good players, have a chance to win 2 out of 3 against the Cubbies.
And a swing and a miss. Gibbons gets the strikeout.
Yeah, he's added that changeup, and You know, again, the slider's gotten good. He could throw in the mid-90s, maybe even higher than that. There's the change. Grossman out in front. The result you want by arm action. And in the location, perfect.
So SANO will get another at bat with a home run in the third. It's been a SANO kind of series. Home run, 3 strikeouts in this ball game. Home run, 2 RBIs, strikeout in game number 2. And he had a 3 strikeout, 0 for 5 opener.
And the other thing, and keep talking about it, I mean, he doesn't hurt you defensively.
Played very well.
No.
At third, second, shallow center.
With all the shifts. Played shortstop on a couple of occasions in the shift.
1 ball, 1 strike count. Kevin Gausman, the Orioles starter, surrendering the 6 runs, 7 hits in 4 innings, and that has been primarily the offense, other than the Dozier home run that came after that in the 6th inning. Blyer, Brock, now Givens out of the bullpen of not giving anything up. That one put high in the air over towards the seats and out of play.
Well, it's a great luxury. I mean, you know, the ball certainly seems to be more lively, but he has the ability, and we saw it in the home run to right center field, hit it out anywhere. I mean, let the ball travel. You know, what it could be a fly ball to a normal hitter is a home run for him.
Givens with the 2-2 delivery to him, and another great pitch away. 2 Ks.
Yeah, but Michael Givens against right-handers, he kind of steps at you, and then this ball 96 a little bit off the corner, and he just kind of waves at it. Great extension.
LeMaire is going to get an at bat as the pinch hitter. Rosario in the cleanup spot coming out. Last player added at the end of spring training. He will take the strike on the inside corner. LeMaire up with 2 down and nobody on, top of the 9th inning.
Yeah,
Lamar rather.
Great spring. Hit about 450. Got a single the other day after he came in and pinch ran.
That ball will fall in for a base hit. Oh, he is on with a 2-out single there in the 9th inning.
Yeah, there's another one. 19 for 40 in spring training, couple home runs and 10 RBIs, and missed a beat.
So Ryan LaMarre on as a pinch hitter and on base. Double digits now for the Twins in the hit department, as they have got 10 to the Orioles 1. And here's Logan Morrison. Morrison 0 for 4 in this game, 0 for 10 in the series. Givens gets him on top of a pitch and an 0-1 count. Scooped up. Cisco able to hang on, make sure a base runner stays at first base, and does.
Well, that changeup's so important to be able to equalize the left-handed hitter's ability. You know, slider takes care of the righties. He is after again being a second baseman, shortstop coming up, decided to pitch. He's turned himself into a premier reliever.
Here's the 1-1 delivery on the way. We'll just miss a little bit low on it. .184 the lefties, .209 the righties against Michael Givens last year. Not holding the runner, first base. That one is there. Picked it up just enough to get it in the strike zone. 2-2. He comes back on Logan Morrison, looking for the third out. The Orioles get a chance to try and get out of the funk in the 9th inning. But first, got to get out of this.
And you would imagine he'll just turn a changeup over.
2-2 delivery down to the shift side. Jonathan Scope makes the play. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. So the Orioles, who've been held to 1 hit, no runs, see what they can do with it in the 9th. Tuesday. And by Southwest. Low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Gary Thorne and Jim Palmer with you as we go to the bottom half of the 9th inning. So far, the cat's been held in the bag in this game. The Orioles being the cat.
Well, Jose Barrios has just been marvelous. You know, again, #1 draft choice. A couple of years, he won 14 games last year. A couple of years ago, he was what, 3-7, and had an ERA of over 8 runs a game. Today, again, the chance. Cisco fly ball that Rosario looked like he had track. Didn't get the glove on it. The only hit. Fell in for a double over his shoulder.
A 1 delivery on the way. That'll be taken by Alvarez, who is 0 for 2 in the ball game. Lamar stays in the ball game. He's in left field for Rosario. Barrios' record is 17-15 in the major leagues. This start that he's making today is his 40th. As we said, he's never had a complete game, never had a shutout. 8 innings worked, his high at the major league level. He did have 4 complete games and 2 shutouts in the minors, where he worked in 105 games. That one in the air to left field, again not very deep. Shift was on, and a fine running catch made. Escobar going over there to get it. He had a long way to go. Cisco coming up, the only hit, the 4th drive of the game.
Yeah, they play him pretty shallow, Rosario and left, and right here you think it's going to be caught. Turns around a couple of ways and just misses it. He easily could have caught that ball. The more you see it, and I'm not saying it's an easy play because he was playing so shallow. So as it turns out, Cisco gets a double, and that to this point the only hit for the Orioles. Only 3 hits last night, 5 on Thursday.
Bunting for a base hit. He'll get one, as that one's going to stay fair.
Well,
the fans stand up and applaud.
Yeah. Well, hey, they give it to you, take it. How many times have we heard that because so many clubs put the prominent shift on that when the Orioles leave spring training, they will know how to do this? Well, Cisco does.
So he is on. He is our Ford drive of the game man. Hurry to your local Ford dealers for great savings on cars, trucks, and SUVs. So the Orioles get their 2nd hit.
Well, you got another guy get a standing ovation if he tries to do it right here.
Chris Davis.
Yeah.
Why not? You need base runners.
Well,
a home run here doesn't mean really that much to get out of the shutout, but
I mean, it's good for your ego. But I mean, again, what a thing of beauty by Cisco.
One-0 count. This will be taken. SANO in the first pitch at third had actually moved in just in case Davis was thinking about bunting. When he didn't square around, then he moved back into the full shift position. So Chris Hilly, that third base side is wide open again. Davis 0 for 3 in the ball game, 0 for 12 to start. Pitch will be taken inside. There's no question that Barrios is tiring a bit, trying to get this complete game under his belt.
Well, it's funny when you talk to young pitchers that are usually, you know, they're not pitching in the 7th, the 8th. As we look at Rogers, a hard throwing lefty with a great curveball, they go, it's not only the physical part, it's getting up and down, the emotional and the mental part of actually pitching in the 9th inning. You just don't get to do it very often. You know, back in the day, it's just part of, you know, coming up through the minor leagues. They kept the pitch count, but you pitch in the 9th.
3 ball, 1 strike delivery on the way, and that'll be taken for a strike on the inside corner. Chris had backed away, and it'll take it to a full count, 3-2. Orioles 17 had been retired in a row prior to the bunt single, picked up by Cisco here in the 9th with 1 away. His other hit, the only other base runner, is in the 3rd inning. 3-2 on Davis. Double play depth, shift on, pitch, walked him, and there's the first walk surrendered. Well, the Orioles will get a couple on, and that'll send Garver out to the mound here, as Paul Molitor wanted him to go and have a word with the pitcher. Doesn't look like he wants to make the pitching change yet. Let's give him a little breather. So 2 on 1 down in the 9th. And Manny Machado coming up. Manny's had an 0 for 3 with a fly ball, strikeout, ground ball, 2 for 8 in this 3-game set. The look back, runners off, out in front, foul back.
Yeah, one of the few hangers that he's thrown all afternoon. So you're right, probably a little bit fatigued. And pitch count, what, at 98? 64 strikes, 34 balls. Great ratio.
As the Orioles did in the ballgame last night. You got a couple of runs. That'll go to center. Buxton up. They'll hold the runners. Bases are loaded. And it gets interesting with only 1 away. The bullpen is ready for the Twins as the Orioles get 2 hits.
Well, Rogers last year, in his rookie year, he got lefties out. Righties not so much. So, and again, you got, you got SCHOOP coming to the plate. You got Jones on deck. So I imagine, here comes Garvin Alston, first year as pitching coach. He's going to I imagine, get somebody else up. Because the next 3 hitters are right-handed. And somebody's taking their jacket off out in their bullpen.
Hildenberger is going to join Rogers.
Yeah, Rogers has been throwing for a while, so he's certainly ready. Hildenberger pitched opening day, warmed up last night. Presley came in along with Moya to finish the ball game.
So Jonathan SCHOOP, who has had a home run off this 23-year-old right-hander. Back in May. He's got him full here. 1 down. And we'll take the pitch away for a ball. Orioles now 2 games in a row in which they did not have multiple hits until the 9th inning, but they've gotten them here. 1-0 delivery on the way. Popped up first base side. Morrison called off, catcher. Garver puts it away, and there are 2 down. SCHOOP retired. So by getting that out, Berrios gives himself a chance at the complete game as he will get to face Adam Jones.
Yeah, as you mentioned, 8 innings on 2 occasions, but early last season. But they got to be very pleased, as we mentioned, 8-9 on the road and 9-1, well, lifetime, and then last year 9-1 at home in his 14 wins. Struggled on the road at 5-7. Totally different guy today.
Needs 1 more out to get the win. The Orioles. Another hit, and they'll get him out of there and get to the pen. Adam Jones 0 for 3. Jones will foul that one back. Adam with the 1 hit, the home run, the game winner here in this series. 0 for 3 in this one, so 1 for 11 against the Twins.
Yeah, we talked about the fact you just don't get out in the 9th inning very often if you're a young pitcher. He's only 23. The other thing is they say getting up and down in the warm-ups, you're not used to it. Yeah, it starts in spring training.
Bases are loaded. Here's the 0-1 delivery on the way, and Adam goes down the line and right. That'll head foul. So an 0-2 count. Fernando Rodney and Rogers now up. Hildenberger sits down. There's the story of the ball game so far.
Yeah, that and the 4 home runs that gave him the early lead. That really makes it a lot easier. He didn't have to work hard until this inning. That's how good he's been.
Two strikes. Runners with their leads on every base. Check swing almost hit the top hand on that one. Stung it a little bit, broke the bat.
Yeah, again, that late moving, running fastball. He's had a great one.
Orioles last year were shut out 12 times. The Twins had 11 shutouts from their staff. 104 pitches thrown, 108's the career high for Berrios. Again, the 2-strike delivery on the way, and that'll be up and away to Adam.
Yeah, it certainly hasn't lost velocity at 94, and maybe location this inning.
Jones waiting on a 1-2. Adam will foul that one back as well.
Yeah, that was a grand slam swing right there. That curveball started inside middle and ended up almost on the inside half. Big swing by Jonesy.
Cisco's with 1 out started it with a bunt single. Davis able to pick up the walk. Manny Machado picking up the base hit, and Schoop popped out, bringing us to the bases loaded 2 down here in the bottom of the 9th. And Adam Jones battling, try and keep this game going. Again, the 1-2 delivery on the way, and that's the ball game. The first complete game shutout for the 23-year-old right-hander. Jose Berrios with an outstanding 3-hit performance on the mound today, and the Twins take 2 out of 3 in the series opener for the Orioles. There's your final line. So this tough team will not be forsaken by the next one, as the Orioles have the world champions coming up next on the road tomorrow night. Chris Tillman will be on the mound against Charlie Morton. Our coverage on MASN at 6:30 with O's Extra, presented by Ford, followed by game coverage at 7. This has been a MASN presentation. Tom and Rick standing by. They'll take a look back after this short break at a first inning that carried the Twins all the way to the win, 7-0. For Jim Palmer and all of our crew on this Easter Sunday, thanks for joining us, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne. Have a great Easter evening. Adieu.